We're 4 minutes late. That's okay, but we're live now.
We live.
This is interesting. So the name of it is
Christmas live
Eggnog,
stream.
yay or nay. Where do you stand on the eggnog train, Dylan?
I'm not an eggnog guy, man. I've never been able to get past the idea of drinking mayonnaise, basically. Like,
Well, sweet
I
mayonnaise.
I don't judge anybody that's into eggnog, but I've just never been able to, like, I've had eggnog, but it's just, I don't know, something about it is not as super enjoyable for me.
I am a huge eggnog fan.
Yeah.
I love it. I grew up with it. I think that's part of it. There's a chain here in Ottawa called Farm Boy, and they have these glass bottles of eggnog that is by far one of the best.
Yeah, maybe I'll give it another. What do you do? Do you do like the nutmeg? Like, what is your eggnog ritual?
No, man, straight out of the bottle.
Straight out of the bottle. Nice.
Straight
just
up.
Chug it down.
A little bit of rum does go a long way.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's,
what kind? What's your rum flavor? Like a spiced, or like what kind of rum?
Yeah, it's got to be spiced rum.
Like Kraken.
For eggnog, it's got to be spiced rum. It's really the only time I drink rum is when it's spiced rum and eggnog. Everything else is usually a rye or a scotch. So, all right, so let's get this going. I like a UK. Greetings. No to eggnog, by the way. Jerker says he missed last week. Jerker, I'm disappointed. The tradition of my name being mentioned was broken last week. I managed to tune in but fell asleep before I could leave a comment. Today I wanted to comment before that happens. Welcome, Jerker. And we're back to once again your name. We should just start out each live stream just by saying Jerker and see how that goes. Once again, you're in direct competition with Linus again this week. Oh, man.
Damn.
Bloody Linus. There's a non-alcoholic eggnog. Oh, yeah. Eggnog is not necessarily alcoholic in its nature.
Apparently, I'm too loud.
Are you too loud?
Apparently. So I'm told.
Oh, I haven't gotten that far down. I can bring you down on my end if you want.
However, I was going to say, gain's at 0. Like, gain is at zilch.
Let me just check you out here. Okay, I'll bring you down. How's that?
Check. Give it a little talkie. Quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. Yeah.
You know what is? I'm also probably a little low. Because the problem is I'm constantly swapping out microphones with this setup. So every once in a while, I'm like, I'll put a different microphone in. I change the gain settings. So it can be a bit of a pain in the ass. Okay. I like UK says, I don't know anyone who drinks it. For shame.
For shame.
I stopped watching LTT. They lost too many good presenters. I've noticed that. I went back to LTT just when I was building my computer. I just went to see, like, I missed out on all the different power connectors for GPUs and all that. How much stuff has changed between the 3000 and the 5000, let alone motherboard connectors. How much they've changed as well, which I ran into on my own build where I was a little bit thrown off by. I mean, just a 5-year difference in all this shit is kind of changing on me. So I did go back. My usual go-tos are Paul's Hardware, Bitwit, and LTT, but I tend to rely on Paul's Hardware and Bitwit a little bit more because LTT doesn't do straight-up computer builds anymore. But yeah, I noticed there's a bunch of people they fired. They just flat out fired them. And these guys have their own channels now, and they're doing quite well. But what the hell, man? Have you checked in on LTT lately?
No, I have not. This is all news to me.
And a lot of the people, it's trying to get to know your, when they clear house in a sitcom or something, they hire a bunch of different actors. It kind of feels like that. You're trying to get used to all the new people. Is it as popular in the UK? I connected a game card to my iPad Pro using the Orion app. It turned it into a gaming monitor that was easier to set up when I tried it on my map. Nice. A game card. Like a gaming video card.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, the iPad Pros do everything. Steve Schnetzler, how's it going, buddy? Welcome to the live stream. Don't know anyone that drinks it. That's wild, man. Eggnog's better when you make it yourself. Also, eggnog is good. That's Jess.
Nice.
Jess, bring it home. Soften, how's it going? I'm still not even through all the introductions here. My God, man, we're getting behind, Dylan. Us British are more of a mulled wine people. I've never had mulled wine. Ever. Oh, the only time I like eggs, it's like drinkable ice cream. I never thought of that because actual ice cream may have eggs in it.
That's true. Yep.
Eggnog with rum is delicious. Poseidon, how's it going, buddy? Bailey's in the eggnog. I do enjoy Bailey's. I find is a little like it makes everything heavy.
Yeah.
I do like Bailey's in my coffee. I do find I struggle with really, really heavy alcoholic drinks. It kind of makes me sick after a little bit. So, yeah, straight up spiced rum is the way to go for me. Audio levels. Let me know how the audio levels are doing, you guys. Boom Boo takes eggnog to the next level. All right. Outsider Jess, Boo Linus, and Ventura Vlogger. I don't think I've ever seen you here.
Welcome.
I'm still learning how to add voiceovers to my videos. Nice. That's always a nice process to kind of learn about. Once you get used to it, it gets a lot easier.
Oh yeah. It's a lot to wrap your head around at first. A lot of dimensions of stuff, but once you can do it consistently.
It's funny because I'm going through a process with a podcaster who's moving to a video. I can't really say who right now, but they're moving to a video format for some, like they're adding extra content on. And they're both blown away by how much more work video is. And it's probably an 8-to-1 ratio, I would say. Audio to video is about an 8-to-1 ratio of work. The amount that you have to do, like the amount of you have to create from thin air with video. Yeah, total respect. When you're learning the video format, man, take your time, learn it properly.
Yep.
And voiceover.
Do it right.
Anyways, so Dylan, Christmas time. I think this is probably our last. Well, this is definitely our last one before Christmas.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This might be our last live stream of the year, unless you think you might be available. But what day is next Friday?
Next Friday is the 28th, I think, maybe, possibly. No. 26th.
No.
All right. 26th.
Say, we're not going to be back on the 26th. So this is the last one of the year, dude.
Yeah, man.
This is
last stream of 2025.
So let's talk about 2025 here, dude. Because I really didn't do a Christmas live stream as I've done in the past with some other creators. It's been a wild month, a lot of BS back and forth, a lot of work, kind of trying to flush things out. So let's talk about 2025, dude. This year has changed for you. Last December, you came into the year not broke, but jobless.
Well, with uncertainty, we'll say that. Came into the
that's
year.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, came into the year with uncertainty for sure. Not for long, but yeah, coming into it. And I mean, I had some stuff in the fire. I had some good leads at that point that were slowly unfolding. But and then I got fast tracked. Got fast tracked out of nowhere. Yeah.
How do you feel if you could sum 2025 up? How I've got a word for you.
Man, you're just going to put me on the spot.
I think I could sum 2025 up for you with one word. That'd be travel.
Oh, yeah. 28 planes this year for me. Lot of traveling. I have friends that travel, and I throw that number at them, and even most of them are just like, okay, that is a lot of travel. First time in Australia, regular travel to the US and back, which is new and exciting. It's been a busy year. Lots of kind of frantic, fast paced, moving around and doing stuff. It's been a good year.
Really quick, let's just hit this up before we continue on with that. Outsider Jess, last Christmas I was jobless and out of school. This year I'm back in school, but still jobless. I mean, that's something. At least school is something, yeah.
Yeah.
So often wants to know, is there an appropriate way to reach out in a DM or an email or anything like that? I am on Discord. You can DM me on Discord. You can also find my email on the YouTube channel. It's aiden@darkcornerstudios.tech. So feel free to reach out at any time. I can't guarantee you how quickly I can get back to you. But yeah, I generally do get back. I generally don't answer a lot of, hey, could you help me with my setup questions via email? Because I can't. It's almost impossible for me to tell you what to buy. But If you were to rate this year, like, how much did you come out of this year with knowledge? Like, you've learned quite a bit over the course of this year, no?
Oh yeah, yeah. Not as much as maybe I want. Like, there's still. It's a very, I don't know, developing a physical kind of mass producible good. There is a lot of just kind of administrative things, like machine things in there that, like, learning about like stage gate and like how, like, at sort of the different points and when we sort of start to lock ton of stuff in and then kind of pick a direction. Like right now we're doing a bunch of kind of last minute changes to a product before it comes out, like all good changes, all things that benefit the results you can get with said product. And yeah, it's been frantic, but it's like, oh man, we're fixing this, we're doing this better. There's things that as we test it, as I test this stuff, which is a very big part of my job, I notice things. And so we change parameters and we, rejig DSP in products, and we do all kinds of stuff to fix those things. And we learn lots of stuff about physics and sound and electricity and all that stuff throughout the process. Like, when you work for a company like this, you'll have lots of engineers, but they all have their kind of specialty. And sometimes the thing that you need to learn is nobody's specialty that works for the company. And so all of you end up having to go on this investigative journey. Like just recently, I was looking into laser etching of aluminum, of like cast aluminum, and like anodization of aluminum, and like all kinds of different stuff with that, which was nowhere in my plans for this week. But yeah, you end up learning a lot of just stuff on the side that you never thought that you would learn. And yeah, you get to kind of daydream about really cool shit. Really cool gear that can come out. You and I were hanging out, and I threw some ideas at you just today. I'm like, wouldn't it be cool if that was a thing? And you're like, yeah.
I do like that idea. I second that.
I align. Yeah. But no, it's a lot of fun, a lot more energy than I was used to in kind of the more North American corporate-y space. Like, being in like a skunk works kind of capacity, for those that know that whole Boeing story, that's kind of the side of the thing that I'm on, is kind of skunk working stuff and getting stuff like really good and fast tracked and find a way, like just figure it out. It's very manic, but it's also, yeah, it's a lot of fun. You can't fall asleep doing this work and working with these people. There's a lot of fun people.
Right on. Ventura Vlogger. I'm a newbie vlogger, less than 15 videos. Dylan and I were talking about this earlier today when we were hanging out. The idea that there's no manual out there on how to do this kind of stuff, where a lot of people learn on the fly because you can't just Google how to vlog, because there's some intangible things with content creation that you can only learn by doing. You can only learn by jumping in and going, right? Yeah. But yeah, 15 videos, you're right, newbie, but that's part of the fun. Looking back on your first video as your 15th video, you're going to see a lot of growth, and every time you look back,
you should
get further along.
Yeah.
If you don't see growth, you suck.
No, and that's it. I've said that before about like when I was like, producing and still continue to produce stuff. If I looked at something I did at this time last year and I don't cringe at something, then I'm not growing. I'm at the same place that I was a year ago. And so I always kind of aim, it's a weird goal to set for yourself, but I aim to have problems with what I did a year ago. That is a goal.
Yep.
Because there's a trajectory there, right?
Yep. Growth is not linear.
Yeah.
But it should always be happening. Always. Yep. Outsider Jess, I'll tell you one thing when it comes to your setup. You will reach a point when you realize your obsession isn't fixing the problem. Shout out to Tom Buck. This is an interesting perspective that I don't think enough people, and I didn't know Tom came out with that, because it's so true that and this is part of the podcasting program that I'm putting out, is most often the problem with your content is you. And that is, it's not your microphone. It's not your interface. You can create compelling content with a cell phone, and that's it. You watch some of the stuff that Casey Neistat put out. Where look at what his brother puts out. So his brother has a channel, and it's all like, I mean, if video had lo-fi, it would be considered lo-fi. But it's fascinating content. He doesn't use really expensive microphones. Pretty sure he uses the on-camera microphone for a lot of his stuff. But he makes great content. He makes compelling stuff.
Like, I don't know if it was Casey Neistat, but one of those content creators made a video that was like giving a college kid $15,000 in video gear and giving like a Oscar-winning cinematographer an iPhone, iPhone and $100 budget, and like the staging and the composition of the shots and like the use of like bokeh, even the synthetic bokeh that an iPhone gives you. It's quite cool. And then, yeah, you look at the call and it's like, no, skills will get you further than gear 100% of the time.
Yeah,
gears help make things faster and easier to do, but you should be able to do it, even though it might take a little longer and be a little more cumbersome. You should still aim to do it with the cheaper stuff.
Well, the goal with gear for me has always been is when you finally get a chance, and for me it's cameras, because I don't have cameras kind of floating into my workflow because I don't work with any camera companies, which, by the way, if anyone wants to work with me, let me know. But when you get to the point where you can upgrade, it becomes this kind of door opening for you to do more. And if you just go out and buy an 8K camera right now, one, you're not going to learn the basics of creating content. You're just going to rely on that stuff and think that that's going to get you there. And it never does. And while a lot of people hate to hear that they're the reason their content sucks, more people need to hear it, because at some point, and this is a blanket statement, at some point, everybody's content sucked. Go back and watch Mr. Beast's early videos. They were dog shit. And even he will tell you that. Everybody sucks at some point. The minute you're able to say my content sucks is the minute you can get better from it. So yeah, Tom Buck, nail on the head. Sofin says your job sounds so cool. I don't know, Dylan, you've been a year into this now. Well, not quite. You're 10 months. Has it sunk in, or has it become day to day that your job is just another job? Or do you still get to look at it and go, holy shit, this is what I'm doing?
It's kind of wild, man. Like strutting into a Long and McQuaid, with like a major manufacturer of stuff kind of behind me in asking for things, and like you get some rooms with some interesting people that you can sort of, when there's content creators like that I can reach out to that are big in this space, and I'm just like, yo, Friedman Electronics, what up? And it's just like, oh, hey, nice, what's up? Like you get an ear instantly. Whereas if you're just some, whatever producer or whatever, you don't benefit from any of that. So I've definitely been able to learn a lot from some really big, important people. Doing in-depth interviews, that's a huge part of my gig as well, which is getting a specialist in the room, right? Like I was talking to one guy a lot who's like the head of audio-visual services for Amazon. That's like his day job. And so the stuff that guy knows and does, and you get to talk to DJs and like, hey, I'm building a speaker. What do you want on a speaker, man? Tell me what you want on a speaker. Or like big huge mixing engineers that use like Yamaha DM7s or Digico Quantum rigs, and it's just like, hey, what, like, just you get to kind of dive into other people's knowledge, and like really decorated people too. And so that, and the people I'm working with, some of these people have been making mixers and speakers for like 30, 40 years. And so, you learn a lot about just physics and like, well, we made the cab like that because of this, that, and the other thing. And you're like, holy shit. A lot of learning, and there, like on the travel thing, there's been a lot of like genuinely dissociative moments for me. like, dude, I remember you and I were walking through the Wynn in Vegas, and I was like, I felt like I was spectating a life. I genuinely dissociated from the moment entirely, and I was like, wow, okay, this is. And I remember you and I were like, man, this is April this year. Like, what is April next year going to look like? And I was just like, my brain imploded.
Those growth moments, for some reason, seem to happen between New Year's and spring. Whereas, like, you take that next It's almost this reset in January for this genre that I'm in right now.
Yeah.
As of January, there seems to be a reset. December's always a shitty month for this stuff, and then all of a sudden January hits and you get a new height, and then there's more growth that happens. And yeah, it's always interesting to look at, and like, you know, I'm talking about getting my own space by February, which is something I never thought I'd be talking about. I have some other irons in the fire that might be very big come February. So yeah. Outsider Jess says, I'm 80 videos in and I still suck, but I've seen some growth in my channel and very few as I'm quite busy. 1% growth is better than 90% of the people out there. Showing 1% growth month over month is growth.
Yeah, showing any growth.
Yep.
Like, you know, I've got various accounts that I have not been a good custodian of that see zero growth, right? And so, but yeah, if you get like 1 subscriber a day is all right. 100 days, 100 subscribers.
Yep.
Or like, you know, yeah, and as Aiden has found, once you hit like, what is it, 1 or 2K, it just kind of just tends to, you know.
Yeah. Well, you've got to keep pushing that.
You got to keep hammering at it. Yeah.
Yeah. But the hammering becomes more successful, right? Like every time you put out a new video that gets 50 more ears and you get 3 more subscribers, and then it's all of a sudden you're getting 10 more. And I remember at one point my kid asked me, how many subscribers do you get a day? And this was way back. And I'm like, usually around 8 or 9. And then I said, I think my biggest day was 20. And then all of a sudden I was getting 100 subscribers a day. And then that kind of comes down. Then I'm getting, 15, and then I'm getting 150, and then I'm getting 30.
But
And
like
so
I think about it like you're marching, right? Like you're all in a marching band, and they're like, okay, 20 subs a day. That's 20 people just jumping in behind you like at once. Like that's a pretty big little posse of people. Like that's almost like a classroom full of people.
yeah, and it's just the numbers. It's constantly expanding. It's an exponential growth sequence with content creation as long as you're growing. If you are doing the same product a year after you started, you're not growing, because the growth isn't just the people that come along, it's also how you present and everything else. So keep going, Jess. It does happen. So Sofin, Dylan, you've hit the nail on the head. Always got to look for your next problem, aka what to improve. Yep.
Well, it's like I think too a good analogy with what we were talking about with the creating content is you have to like define like a narrow kind of a area of content. Like you have to pattern something, and so you gotta confine what you're doing to that, and then as we've discovered, you and I, like trying to broaden that over time. It's like having a flashlight in a room full of smoke. Like you walk in a direction and you're like, oh no, there's zombies there. All right, gonna move over here and see if they how many times have we tried to push in the music direction and we just immediately get spanked right back into the middle. It's like, well, shit.
Well, and I find like the more that I work towards like just avoiding one way kind of pushes you in that direction, because people who are into music don't want to hear about podcasting. People who are in podcasting don't want to hear about music.
Yeah, like you find these weird kind of arbitrary boundaries in the verticals where there's no compatibility at all bouncing over. Like there's tons of music guys that couldn't give a fuck about voiceover. Nope. Right. And so like you find these weird segmentations really that are not like overlappable. I mean, brand wise. Like you got a guy like Rick Beato. If he did a voiceover video, it would still probably get attention because he's got a huge presence. But like,
for him, it would bomb.
Yeah, for him, he would get like a few hundred views, which for his channel with his following would be atrocious.
I remember I got 1,000 views in a week so by the time we hit Friday, I was at 1,000 views and I was blown away. Now, if I only have 1,000 views by the Friday for my Monday video, it's an absolute flop.
I'm going to ask you a good year-end roundup question. What do you think personally, what of all the videos you put out this year, which video, not looking at analytics, that's going to be the next question, but what do you feel is the worst video that you have done personally, like your own preferences?
So like worst performing or just the worst video?
The worst, the in your opinion, like when you look back at it, you like cringe, or you like there's you don't like how you did it the most.
Yeah, I can do that. 1 second here, because I'm not going to look at any of the.
Yeah, don't look. That's what I mean. Don't look at the
I
numbers.
won't look at the metrics, but I
Yeah.
can go and I can tell you. Um, the one that I just put out about the Christmas didn't make me cringe, but it was something that made me go, "Why did I put that out?" Because, like the reason I put it out is because I've always kind of put one out,
Right.
but then it just kind of made me go, "Well, that kind of sucks." There was one, and I cannot state the product. That video is still up. When we were at NAB last year, I showcased a specific product, and I was really looking forward to it. And they sent me the product, and I even did a video talking about the product, saying I'm going to be reviewing this. And then it turned out when I tried to use the product in my environment, it sounds like shit. And I mean, like, steaming piles of EQ and compression will never fix this shit.
Nice.
I don't know if it's the product's fault. I don't know if it's the fault of me or my environment, which is possible with some microphones.
Yeah.
And I just never got back to them. So that kind of left a nugget of crap hanging in the air. That kind of that makes me a little like, I feel like yeah, I feel like that kind of wrecked. There wasn't the vibe I wanted this channel to have. Whereas instead of going into something with a bit of an open mind to say this might suck, I went into it going, this is awesome. And yeah, it was a little cringeworthy.
Okay, so now on the back of that, what's the worst performing video?
Oh, the worst performing video this year?
Yeah, that one's a little easier.
That'd be a recent one. That'd be very much a recent one. There have been some stinkers recently.
Some floppers.
Yeah, let's see if I can find that here. Views. So, okay, so that's the best. Let's go to the worst. My worst performing video has
sort in
21
ascending
views. Oh no, wait, that was a members only, 24 views. That was from 2019. That's been privated.
Oh my God.
My public, okay, Christmas gift guide for streamer. And this is one of the things that I talk about where, why did I do this video? It has 80 views. That was from several years ago. But from this year, shit. We're probably talking about, oh man, the how to make your lavalier audio pop was really bad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Which is sad because I really like that video. I thought that was great.
Yeah,
I didn't have any real bad stinkers this year though.
That's good. I mean, that's a good sign.
The one about my video or my studio flooding kind of sucked. Yeah,
that makes sense.
The super cheap wireless. So I went and I bought one of those $30 wireless things, like the Rode Wireless Micro, but the super cheap one from Amazon,
Nice.
Leviatse or whatever it's called. That thing died in a fire. Like that video, I put that out a month and a bit ago, and it still got 800 views. God.
Oh my God.
That thing died in a fire. So that's probably one of my worst. But everything else has been going pretty good. I have to catch up with some of these, so give me 2 seconds.
Yeah. Let's break off here.
Casey from Camera Conspiracies and Vegetable Police also make videos with cheap gear, and it's all personality and content that makes his videos pop. 100%. Casey has never made video with high-end budgets. His cameras are usually really nice. That's about it. I hate watching videos like that. I get giving these people gear won't help, but these people aren't even on the same playing field experience-wise.
Yeah.
Very true. Mr. Beast said Logan Paul 100,000 times. I don't know. God, some of the shit he used to do, which is stunting, which thank God has gone away on YouTube. That used to just be a bunch of millennial kids kind of like thinking everything stupid is funny.
Yep.
And I'm glad that went away. But yeah, he didn't build his persona off that, and I'm really glad he didn't. If you don't at least try to get to Oz, you may never learn. All you have to do is click your heels. So good point, Liberty Dude. I was telling Dylan about that. Like, what I learned from this channel, I used my second channel when I launched it. 3 videos in, I had 500 subs. Once you know how to do it, all you got to do is click your heels. It's so true. DJ Play Nice, thanks for hosting. Merry holidays. Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
Anything with audio, make it USB-C and have a headphone jack. That is what I want. If it has a USB-C, make it work on console. That's actually pretty fair.
Yeah.
Big. Merry Christmas, gentlemen.
Merry Christmas, sir.
Yeah, give a thumbs up to the live, guys. Seriously, wish to thank you all for your year of giving what you have. Happy this time of year. Cheers, Liberty, dude. I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like thank you to everyone that comes and watches the videos.
Yeah,
like,
no, I mean, thanks for all that come join us here on a Friday. If none of you were here, I don't think we would continue to do this, honestly.
No kidding. Saf ibn Syed Bacon.
That's awesome.
That's a good name.
Yeah.
Yay, Dark Corner Studios. Cheers. How far is the prospect to new space? Give me a second. I'm just gonna go slowing down. I'm gonna come back to that, Soften. Don't worry. Slowing down and posting less has actually made me get better when I was trying to grind to get 100 subs. Yeah. 100% slow down and pay attention to your content. Don't just shove stuff down people's throats for the sake of it. Only 15 videos, 80 videos instead. Congratulations on making your first video and then following it up with another. Holy shit. That is one of the best pieces of advice. You have to hit record at some point.
Yeah.
Dimebag, 1,100 videos. Damn, buddy. Right Mindset, Mayona PD100. Oh, man. I love that video. I was actually wanted to compliment you today on that video. I enjoyed it. Cheers, man. Yeah, I love that video too. I also watched that video that died in the fire. It's the videos that people don't care about. It's a fascinating thing. I'm trying to get back to that statement from Sofin. People don't want to hear that you have to work on your audio. People don't want to hear that you don't just shoot something with audio and throw it into content. You have to put EQ. You have to use compression. If you don't, you suck. Your audio is going to be garbage. You can't. I prefer the sound of the SM7B. What do you mean? Nobody prefers the sound of a raw SM7B, you weirdo.
I was gonna say anybody that's actually worked with an SM7B knows. That's
like saying I like dry chicken. No, you like chicken with gravy, you dumbass.
It's like saying I like uncooked chicken.
Yeah, exactly. Basically. And I think that's what a lot of people see, like content like that, and they go, "Ew."
Yeah, like a lot of what you hear when you hear the sound of something, like most of the time when you hear something, whether it's in a song, whether it's in a voiceover in a commercial, whether it's on a podcast, is being treated with something. You're not just hearing just naked audio. And so what our ears are kind of primed for is processed stuff, which is stuff that has a little bit of dynamics control, has a little bit of linear EQ changes, sometimes some multi-band compression. Like we're used to hearing stuff like that. And so if you're just buying even a U87, right? A U87, you plug it in, sounds, yep, that's okay. That's a condenser mic. Then when you start like contouring it, as it were, when you start contouring it, then you start hearing like how that signal kind of responds to those weird dips and peaks.
And it's funny because my best performing video this year was the cheap Temu mic versus the U87, which is well over 130,000 views now, which is ridiculous. That thing blew up. It's still going strong too, and people are like, "Wow, this really shows you that you shouldn't spend money on microphones." And it's like, "Wow, you guys got the wrong message on it."
I take full credit for that, by the way. I gave you that idea.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I knew that would be a big one, right? Because of course everybody's going to see that in an ad and go, okay, how close is it really? Like it looks the part, kind of.
Well, and like the amount of comments on that going, "Oh, I'm listening on my cell phone and it sounds the same." Oh dear God. Anyways, Sofin wanted to know, how's the prospective new space? It's going well. I'm in the process of. So in the Ottawa region, now's about the time you want to start seeking it out because a lot of things go out of business around Christmas time, sadly, and a lot of spaces become empty in January. So I've been aiming for about a February take on a space. I'm looking for about 1,000 square feet. I found a place that's about 850 square feet that would be perfect for $1,500 a month,
nice.
which would be perfect. I have a few financial things going on. I really want to share a space with somebody. I know Dylan's going to be a part of the space. We're talking about Dylan does a lot of testing on audio gear. That's and like he's
Yeah,
kind of
Aiden was over today and saw the state of my living room, which just
yeah.
looks like I'm building a bomb. Like honestly.
And Dylan's literally lamenting that his whole studio is now a lab.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah. That's what I said. I said
yeah,
this room has gone from being a studio almost like overnight to a lab. Like there's all
yeah.
kinds of little projects set up in various places, and it's. I mean, it's fun. It's still a super fun room, but it's just in a totally different way now.
But and that's something that like because this would be a studio for, like Dylan would be working on, not paying me. I'm not charging Dylan to work out of this space. He's with me on this.
Oh yeah, because we collaborate on videos
Yeah,
and stuff as well.
and that's
like,
what like I'm kind of hoping to bring Dylan in so Dylan has space not only for doing his work but also storage is becoming a big deal between Dylan and I.
yeah.
So little things like that, and then I want to bring in other creatives. I have a photographer that's one of the best in Ottawa that I'm going to be working with to find a space with. He's talking closer to like 2,000 square feet. So we're going to see where our
See what we can
balance
do.
out at.
Yeah.
Yeah. So realistically, it's going great. It's going to be happening probably in around the February area, but there's also a lot of shit about to fly come February. There's a lot of stuff that's been stewing for quite
No, it's been
some
it's been
time.
ruminating. Yeah.
And that I've actually got after Christmas, I'm going to be sending out a volley of emails to just touch base and because there's something pretty big coming. So that's also going to come. I'm also rebranding. I'm staying Dark Corner Studios, but there's a whole rebrand happening that's going to be happening around February as well. So yeah, everything's kind of coming together. It's not being rushed because wherever I end up, I'm going to end up there for a couple of years at least because that's how the leases work. So yeah, so everything's going great. All right. Wolf Clegg, thumbs up for the stream. Oh, wait, what? There you go. Not your video dying in the fire. Yeah, no, that's okay. It's one
It
of those
happens.
like.
Well, and that's the other thing. Like, if you're trying to figure out what to make, start making stuff, and the market will tell you, right?
Yep.
If you do a type of video on something and it fails, make another video of another slight deviation of that, and keep doing that in like little increments until you hit something that takes off, and then it's like, okay, now you get to figure out why that video landed so well.
Well, the fun thing about this genre is I know how I can make videos that will get 100,000 views consistently on this channel.
Yeah.
But everybody that I care about that watches videos on this channel would freaking hate it. Like all those Temu videos, those hey,
yeah.
I found something that really works and now I'm just going to buy up a bunch of shit from Amazon and I'm going to put it up again. That's not stuff that I want to do. That's not what this channel is about. So I do feel like I kind of get a little bit behind on stuff like that because I'm still trying to find but I'm still trying to do things that are going to fall within the scope of what this studio is about. So yeah, don't worry. I'm never going to be punching out the ridiculous videos. So.
Oh yeah, the clickbait.
yeah, I can't do it. I think of it like it's 2025 at the very least. If you don't have a proper mic, people will leave if it hurts their ears.
Yeah.
Stop giving people a reason to not listen. That is the number one tenet of all content creation. So you're right. Merry Christmas, everyone. I feel like this year went by so quickly. It did.
Oh yeah, totally.
The older you are, the quicker it went too. I don't watch videos with loud meme noise in 6 years. One, because I'm an adult, and two, it hurts my ears. It's funny because YouTube prefers a neg 14, I believe, which it does not adjust for. It does not limit for. As I've on my digging, I have found that there is very little information out there on what YouTube does to your audio. They compress slightly a little bit, but they don't limit. And I don't run my videos to neg 14 or neg 16 because it's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous LUFS to be running a microphone review channel. So,
well, and the thing is they will adjust, and like all the streaming services do this now. YouTube does this, Spotify does this, Apple does this, where they will generally speaking adjust, like unless your peak values go over like -1. you're not going to get chopped off at the heels. What they will do though is they'll kind of move the average of your audio into that 14 LUFS integrated, right? Because it's an integrated measurement, which means like basically across the entire piece of audio. And so like I know in Europe the standard is like I think neg 23 LUFS or something for like broadcast for broadcast stuff.
Nice.
So it's a number that you wouldn't expect.
So with actual dynamic range, you say, because you know what it takes to get to neg 14.
Yeah. Well, that's it. And like you can still have something. And so, yeah, if something is louder than that, like if something is neg 7, right? It will generally lower that. I know on Spotify, it's, I think neg 16. And then, but then the user can actually put it into like, maximum loudness mode, basically, or I forget exactly what they call it. I think it's literally called loud mode, where it will actually renormalize everything to like, I think it's like neg 10. Or something like it's a much lower number or higher number, I should say.
The worst part too is Spotify, now that they're pushing video out, neg 14 is video, which is just ridiculous.
Yeah, no, it's funny. I've only had Spotify Premium, thankfully. I know, knock on privilege, but I've never had to sit through Spotify ads. And then recently, I was hanging out with somebody, and they had just the free version of it, which has all these stupid restrictions on like the next songs that you play, and it like injects ads. We had ads mid-song a few times, and I'm like, "Are you fucking for real right now?" Jesus,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's like my partner and I've both noticed Amazon Prime Video has gotten real bad for that. We'll get like partway through a film and get like a 7-spot in a row stop set, like at the most inopportune time in a movie or show, and you're like, wow, that just killed the vibe completely.
Liberty dude, cheers. Thank you very much for the super chat. I incredibly appreciate that. Ding ding, egg some nog, nut your chest. Nutting your chest, not on video. Roast your fire.
Demonetized.
And get together to share some toast. Cheers, y'all. Merry Christmas, brother.
Merry Christmas.
I really do appreciate that, brother. It's been a good year at Dark Corner Studios here. There's been a lot of fun. There's been a lot of interesting perspectives and kind of looking at growth. Not on a linear fashion, looking at like what Dark Corner Studios is becoming isn't just a YouTube channel, which is what I've always wanted. It's becoming a production house, and that's what makes me happy, because I don't just want to make videos about how to create audio. You still want to create audio. And
well, that's it. I remember when I started doing this job, I asked Peter at the time. We had a phone call, almost a year ago at this point. And I was like, hey, is it cool if I still continue to like, obviously I know this is going to be a lot of, it's going to be a lot of work and we're going to be doing a lot of stuff real quickly. But am I going to have an opportunity to still kind of do stuff? He's like, yeah, totally. And he literally said, how do you build race cars if you don't drive them? Like, And so the reality is absolutely keep doing stuff, keep working, doing whatever, creating, using the stuff, because that's obviously how you're going to get to know what's not great about it. Is you're going to use it. So, fair enough.
Yeah, well, and that's like I claim some hierarchy, some heavy knowledge on podcasting. Everyone's like, well, how? Because I work in the industry.
Yeah, I do them. I do this every week, guys. Like
I work with some incredibly strong performing podcasts, and it's that's what gives. If I have to stop doing that, then I can no longer really claim to be one of the information leaders. By the way, this is Bob. I don't know if y'all have met him with his dumb little arms. These tiny little, it's like
Bob.
a sausage with arms. He wandered up, and now he's sad because I called him a sausage. So say goodbye, Bob. This is the asshole of the family. Come on, buddy.
Little Bob. Bye, Bob.
Yeah. So it's so true. Like, still working and doing the stuff and creating creating a production house that's doing more than just creating content around creating content was really important to me. And this year has seen a lot of that, which I'm very happy for. I like it. I hope you have a good festive break, Christmas. Looking forward to your next year's content. Me too.
Yeah, 2026 coming in hot.
Yeah, I'm just going through. Just looked at my YouTube studio. Definitely regret dropping making videos as a hobby. Very productive in early 2010s compared to 9 public videos in the past 10 years. Hope to get back at it soon. Beresford, literally give you. So when this channel became something of a mover and shaker was when I decided to give myself a goal. And that initial goal was 1 video a week for a whole year. And it's
52
not
videos.
easy.
Yeah.
Right now, it's almost a joke. If I'm only doing 1 video a week, it means I'm very busy. But that initial goal was hard to get through. But by the end of that year, it almost becomes like a second nature. And I can 100% guarantee if you do 1 video a week and you consistently show up, people will consistently show up for you. So
I think that that's any kind of creative. It's the same thing with like producing a song or like producing radio, man. I remember in college, they're like, yeah, you got an hour in a studio to make 1 30-second commercial. And I was like, oh God, that's rough. How am I going to do that? And then now having literally created like tens of thousands of commercials throughout my,
Yep.
radio career, it's like, yeah, boom, boom, boom. Like I've even produced commercials without, like, I've produced commercials on Teams calls where I'm not listening to any of the spot. I'm literally just talking to the person the whole time. And I send it to the rep. I'm like, how's this sound? They're like, perfect, great. Sending to the client, just load her up. I'm like, I didn't listen to that once. No, I don't recommend doing that, by the way. It's just sometimes you get so, like, I do everything from templates. So half the time I would just load up the template. Everything is set already. So I just, all right, drop the music or drag the music over, put the voice over, cut the shit out of the VO, and you can tell what stuff looks like in a VO waveform pretty easily sometimes.
Oh, dude, I can tell words.
Yeah,
I can actually
fully. Yeah, you can see words have certain, like, articles. Like you can tell the difference between like the and at, and like different names of cities. Like I know what the word Germany looks like. Like just the weird. And this is it, right? We talk about the unspoken things. Like, no, you're never going to find somebody talking about your ability to visually identify and how much that speeds up your edit flow. I can go through and edit breaths out. Like I can tell the difference between an S and an F. What those look like, an SH versus an S. Those have their distinct look, and that's not a special thing. That's just people that have done this job for more than a decade, editing audio. What you're doing, what I'm doing, editing audiobooks, you'd end up having the same kind of relationship. It's the mundanity that just becomes second nature.
And there's certain sayings that I can already see because they're used so much in certain podcasts.
Yep.
And you're like, holy shit, man. Dimebag says, got a photographer buddy out your way. Nick Molnar Photography in Bradford. I am nowhere near Bradford, but if he needs an office space in Ottawa, let me know.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like he could find one closer if he needed one. But...
Yeah. Bob, aren't you a cute sausage? Yes, Bob is an adorable sausage. He bites people, though. He's an asshole. Through and through, like he likes nobody. Sofin, Aiden, I was just thinking about doing 1 video a week in 2026, man. Having a hard time knowing what my niche is. Start making videos. Stick to a relative niche. Relative, right? Like, obviously mine was audio reviews. Find a way to crush it out. Takes a lot of planning. Just find something that you want to do as well, man. Like, if you're doing something that you don't want to do, you're going to fail getting 1 out a week. So,
people used to say, and this is a good question for you because you've done it, is there's people that have said, like, if you want to start a channel in something, plan out like the first X number of videos. And if you can do that relatively easily, go for it. And so if you were to put a number in where that X is, what would your number be? What would you 20? Come up with 20 videos, and if you can do that easily, you're good? Nice.
Yeah. So
I was going to say like 12, but 20 is good.
That's actually a podcast that's in the podcast. You're kind of ruining a lot of my podcast.
Of course.
If you come up with a concept for a channel, a podcast, whatever it is, and you can't get past 20 ideas for either episodes or videos or content concepts, you've got a dead niche. Meaning, and the way I explain it in the course is, sure, you want to do a podcast about onions. And you're like, I love onions, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to do this. And then all of a sudden you get to episode 6 and you realize, well, shit, onions can't fill a year's worth of podcasts. So what do you expand to? So you take that niche of onions and you move it out to maybe pierogies and onions, or cooking with onions, or you work into just a cooking podcast. And it's a silly explanation, but it's so important. So for example, when I started, I did a Mackie board, which was my first video that got any traction, the Pro FX V2. And that started getting like 10 views a day, and people
That's
started
funny.
watching it.
And yeah, man.
Yeah,
And
it came full circle for sure. And then I realized, okay, well, let's work on this. I love doing audio. I love all this stuff. So I started putting shit out around audio, and I just started throwing shit at the wall, hoping something would stick. And when it came down to it, when I kind of niched in on podcasting over music, it tended to have better grab. So yeah, sometimes it's just a matter of, throw shit at the wall for a year, do one video a week, just come up with ideas. And all of a sudden, if something hits, kind of narrow your way, you take a little bit of a right-hand turn. Nobody's going to argue with you if you
yeah,
all of a sudden
you're
put
always
out
gonna
4 videos in a row
you,
with the
you're,
same concept.
you're gonna have to recast the net pretty regularly at the start. I think
Yeah.
that coming up that 20 videos that we were talking about earlier, I think that really helps you get a good, because again, like if you really have to reach to get that 20 videos also,
Yeah.
then there might only be 20 videos in that
Yep.
particular thing. And so and then sometimes, yeah, I think, if you're not sure where to go, pick a direction, start walking, and then, adjust in
Yeah.
real time. And then once you find something that consistently hits, then like try to branch out from that at the center of your search,
Well, and this is the most important thing I'll tell you out of all of this. Your first pieces of content are going to be trash. Nobody's going to watch them. They're going to sit there collecting dust on the YouTube timeline. Nobody is going to click on them. It's not until you get to about your 100th video where people start to go, oh, this guy is relatively not dog shit.
Yeah, consistency is
Yeah.
key.
Like I just went back over some of my videos from this channel, and there's some on there that have 80 views.
Yeah.
From, well, where is this? The lowest views. Okay, so how sticky? Okay, so that I did. How to gauge success as a small content creator? 102 views. Goals video. Ooh, how to make thumbnails quick.
Oh yeah, that was a doozy.
Still has 125 views.
That's hilarious. Oh my god.
One of my favorite videos was responding to mean comments. I love that one. Podcast monetization, how to make money podcasting, 159 views. I'm about to put out a freaking course on it, and the last video I did was 159 views. Yeah, there's a lot of the stuff you do in the beginning is just going to be dog shit. So don't worry about what you're doing. Don't worry that all of a sudden on video number 15 you pivoted, because nobody's going to notice.
Nobody's going
to
to care.
If the 5 people do notice, don't worry. 5 more people are on the way. They're going to be coming. They're going to be checking your stuff out. And the biggest thing, if you know that what you're doing you love, you should be able to make 100 videos without breaking a sweat. So yeah, Outsider Jess says 1 video a week is healthier than the upload 3 times a week I was hearing and seeing when I started. That's bullshit. Upload when you can. And I say just set goals. If you're a gaming YouTuber and you only have Saturday night to stream Saturday night. And
there you go.
It
That's
your
your day.
goal that Saturday night, barring some sort of grievous injury or emergency within the family, I am streaming Saturday night. And then as you get better and as you realize that this is something you really want to do, then you start taking chances on your other time. It's all about just setting the goals and working towards them. So it sounds super easy.
That's like us in this. I mean, there's channels that do like 3 or 4 live streams a week. But we said like, all right, this is the time we've got. So Friday night, Friday afternoon, that's our time. And so, we always try to work around that being the goal. Whereas, if we had to do this every day, it would be a little bit cumbersome.
Yeah. And it's also like, if this was our financial goal was to make a stream financially viable for us, we would have to go, okay, Dylan, how are we going to do this? How are we going to structure this? And because this is not a money making stream, this is not even close. We have 14 people watching us right now, which a lot of like that is a ridiculously low amount of people, but we don't do it for the people coming in. We're doing it for hanging out and for the people that want to be here, that want to get advice or maybe just hear two people shoot the shit out of the end of a long week. That's why we're here and we're doing it. But if we wanted to monetize this, this would look a whole lot different.
It's the community element. Like I think there are people here. In fact, there's probably a good amount of people here that, or I should say, a good percentage of the people that are here. Like if you would list the top 5 videos that bombed view wise this year, they'd be like, "Well, I watched that." It's like, well, yeah, because everybody here is the community, like the inner circle of the channel, as it were, of viewers. There's lots of people outside of that boundary that just come and go, kind of transient viewership.
Yeah, like I've got 40,908 subscribers as we're speaking right now, and I have 15 people on this stream.
Yeah, exactly. Right? There's tons that fall outside of that. And so, but that's the community, and that's the part I think, obviously there are channels like LTT where that community is massive. That community is untenably huge. But I like it being the size it is now because we can actually interact and have meaningful.
And what's funny is they structure their live stream to make money.
Yeah.
Which is, you can tell, like it's set up like a newscast, like we're talking stories. They don't even talk to members of the community until the end.
Yep.
And it's only
like chats. Super chats. Yeah.
Super chats. And yeah, like if we wanted to make money on this, it would look a whole fuck ton different. And Dylan and I know how to do that. We're both broadcast guys.
Yep.
But that would kind of, then it's a completely different beast.
Yeah, it's a whole other thing.
Seeing the same people. So,
no.
Sofin, absolutely love the advice on planning videos. You're welcome. Thank you for all the advice. These live streams go by way too fast. Love these. So fun. Yeah, you know what? And I appreciate that because this is why we like being here. Adam's Exploits. I love eggnog, but my gut doesn't. How dare you? My gut loves it. My waistline does not. That is really, really what gets in the way.
And what populates the waistline? Something that starts with a G.
Really enjoy the casual aspect of this stream. Yeah, I think I don't like Linus content or streams. That's funny. When we started doing a live stream, the whole idea was always like to be able to connect. And I don't know if, like, even if I knew like 3.5, 4 years ago when we started doing these live streams that we would only have 17 people after an hour, that I'd still be doing it because the whole point is, it's one, the time for Dylan and I to hang out and chat.
Yep.
And when Dylan went away and I struggled with the concept of continuing this, and then I just stopped doing them because what it wasn't there. And it's one of those, like, creating content for the sake of creating content is a bad idea. And you turn people off very quickly when you're like, well, I've got to do a live stream on Friday, so let's just fuck it and do it. People get upset at that. And I'm guilty. I've done that before just because I wanted to live stream. I want to do it. But if you can't do it the way people want it to be done, you might as well just monetize it. So yeah, anyways, Dimebag, I'm guessing that's LTT, discourages super chats and asks for merch messages. When you buy something from the store, you're welcome to send a message. Yeah, this is the stuff that gets me with, like, that's where it becomes a financial thing. Like, I'm launching merch this year. Well, in 2026, I'm launching a full merch line. And yes, I'm going to promote it, but that's not going to be like, hey, if you want to talk to me, you got to buy some fucking merch. Oof, that's brutal. So yeah, I'm lactose intolerant. Eggnog is going to stop me from drinking it. Yeah. I'm lactose intolerant. Eggnog is not going to stop me from drinking it. Nice.
Nice.
Oh man, you can shit your pants any time of the year, but at Christmas it's special.
It's a special kind of shit.
Dude, Linus makes a shitload for merch. His merch is really good. Oh, I agree. I just think putting that on, because here's the thing, guys. A lot of people show up to this live stream because you get to talk to us. And that's not like you get to talk to us. No, because This is all this live stream's about. We've
Yeah, it's literally
spent
it.
4 years doing a live stream where we just go through the comments. I missed maybe 15 comments out of all of tonight because we got so far behind. People
Yeah.
show up for that. I know that. So if I put a paywall behind that, knowing that, let's say 1% of you will pay me to talk to me.
Yeah.
That means I'm not going to touch chat unless I see pay on it. That means that.
Oh yeah, like it would be super easy to have this as a membership only live stream, which effectively easily puts a paywall. But again, we wouldn't. There's a lot of people that we enjoy having here that would not be able to or be interested in footing that bill, which is totally fair.
And to be fair to Linus, there's so many people in his live stream that it's hard to keep up.
Oh my God, watching the machine gun comments coming through, you're like, oh my God, you couldn't keep track of that.
Having a moderator pick comments out at least.
Yeah.
But they don't even have that. And it's a little disappointing. And yes, his merch is great. He curates it because it makes so much money.
Yep.
I've spent so long not having merch because I didn't want to just release a shitty ass t-shirt that has my logo on it, because that's no way to, like, if you guys are going to buy something of mine, I want it to actually be good. And that I do believe in that. The same thing Linus does. I even own some of his shit. This mat that you see me do all the top-down shut stuff on is an LTT mat. I love their gear. Yeah. I just think that there's a little bit of too much of a push to be a corporate entity. How Linus conducts business is scummy, though. Yeah, agreed. Jess, that's what happens to me up all night. I don't think Lactoid would help. Linus does make it a well-known that nobody is reading the YouTube chat, basically. Yeah, it's really the only float plane chat gets any actual notice. And again, right, like I respect the hustle, I always will, but if you're going to say that you're connecting with your community and then it just becomes that, it's two separate things. So choose what you want. There might be a day where we decide to do a monetizable live stream on Dark Corner Studios. Maybe there's a day where this thing gets so many people that we can't keep up with chat. But at that point, I'm going to get a moderator that can pick out things that need to be addressed, right? Like,
and we'll have a moderator looking out for the OG crowd. You know, we gotta look out for the long timers.
Dimeg says I'm bad. I bought an LTT hoodie for my dog.
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
I still want one of their screwdrivers. One of these days I'm going to get it. Anyways, cheers to everybody. I appreciate you guys for showing up the last stream of 2025. I really appreciate, by the way, Liberty Dude, again, thank you very much for that incredibly nice super chat. And we're going to see you in 2026, hopefully the first week of 2026. We'll see how that goes. But definitely we'll be returning, and watch out. The first few months of 2026 are going to be very interesting around here. So cheers, guys. Merry Christmas and have a happy New Year.
Merry Christmas.